everyone. I'm here with Dr. Tariq Aslam from the Manchester Royal Eye Hospital. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello.
Thank you so much for having us at COPHy, and I'm so excited that you're here as well. We wanted to kind of just delve into all the AI talk that's been happening at the conference. So of all the presentations that's been happening, is there one that really particularly piqued your interest?
Yeah, I really enjoyed actually Ursula's presentation on geographic atrophy assessment. And the reason is because we've been really excited about AI for a while. Ever since Piers Keen's stuff came out, we've been waiting for AI to come in, swoop in and tell us what we're doing with all our patients and how we should best manage them. We found sometimes when we've seen other technologies like the OCT machines and the OCTAs, we see research papers, and within a year or two, we start seeing those technologies in our practice, and it's been absolutely fantastic. But there seems to have been a chasm a little bit with AI in terms of seeing the potential of it in papers and seeing the power of the things it can do, which is unlimited.
Yeah.
The way it's diagnosing so many different areas, better than humans.
Yeah.
But years have passed and we're still not seeing it in practice. And there's a whole load of factors that are involved in that. But I quite like this geographic atrophy measure that Ursula has, because it hits the nail on a few heads. One is that there's always going to be a physician looking at it. There's always going to be, it's going to be acting as a physician's aid. So the medical legal aspects might not be as severe. And secondly, because it actually measures something that we as humans know we can't do day to day. Whereas other things like diagnosing AMD, for example, we can do, and not even really senior people are needed to do that. So that's really nice. And if we can get that into our practice, along with the new treatments for geographic atrophy, that would be really, really cool to have as a new paradigm and a new mode of treatment for this group of patients who haven't really had anything before.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think also when you mention AI, I think everyone thinks that, it's just going to take over and it's going to take over physician jobs. But I think a key point that came out of this conference was that actually it's AI tools that are just going to make the physician that much stronger.
Well, I want technology to be better. We've got a long way to go. For example, in our electronic medical record systems, I think are nowhere near as good as they should be. So they're still slow and they're still clunky. There's still errors in them. And so I'm not concerned about machines taking over from humans. I'm more concerned that machines aren't doing what machines should be doing, never mind what humans should be doing. You know, I know what this electronic medical record could be doing because I've, looked at apps on my phone and how great and good they are. But these systems seem to not be designed with, the power that they could have in them. They don't think about the user interface as much as they should to make things easy for physicians. So my worry is that we become slaves almost to those sorts of technologies, that rather than being able to have the machine deal with a lot of the administrative issues and have more time with the patient, that we end up turning away from the patient and looking at a screen because we've just got to get all the right clicks in. So I think we're at that sort of era where we need to stand up and say, actually, no, this isn't right. We need our machines. We need them to be doing this. But I'm certainly not concerned about them taking over from us at the moment.
I think also for the UK, the NHS is, such a great system as well, where they are trying to integrate everything. And you mentioned kind of the EMR system. At the University of Cambridge, we use Epic, and I know different trusts use different things. Do you think there is going to be that time where everything is going to be centralized and you can have, some of these other softwares from devices be centralized? Or do you think that's a little bit of ways away and we just need to find things that talk together?
Yeah, centralization does have its benefits, but then also disadvantages. So we at the moment are using Epic as well, and we're having problems because I don't find that it's been tailored for our needs. And it doesn't seem to have improved in terms of it being tailored for my needs at the moment. So when I'm in the macular treatment center, I've used other electronic patient record systems, and they're far more intuitive and they're far more effective, and there's fewer clicks and there's less likelihood of you missing something. Whereas because maybe that it's been centralized, not only centralized for all the specialties, but centralized nationally or centralized globally, there's this global definition of this is the things that you need to do. And actually, it's not really tailored enough for our local needs.
Yeah, it might need to be therapeutically tailored instead.
I think there needs to be an involvement of the clinicians in terms of, okay, this is our core product. right, you tell us now what needs to be
Yeah.
changed, and then we'll implement it.
Yeah.
Not we'll implement it, and then, we'll try and backtrack and make some changes here or there.
Yeah. So from an AI perspective, from a device company as well, is that something that physicians are working with device companies to say, hey, actually, we really need this, this, and this?
I think probably not enough.
Mhm.
I think it needs to be much more both ways. The companies themselves need to be reaching out to physicians much more
Yeah.
in terms of doing that. And I've spoken to a few companies just now, and I speak to them all the time. But there are issues and complexities with regulatory procedures,
Yeah.
with business cases. Having been in that realm slightly myself of developing technologies and then trying to take them out to a market, I do understand that there's so many different steps,
Yeah.
and the cost of getting a drug to market is intense, but the difficulties and challenges of getting a device as well
Yeah.
to market can be really, really difficult. So there's a long pathway, but it
Yeah.
can only be improved, I think, with greater communication
Agreed.
with clinicians.
So you mentioned that the GA is kind of piquing your interest. Is
Yeah.
there anything else in terms of AI, maybe that's a little bit far out or that's coming in that you're excited about as well? That maybe wasn't at
Well,
the
I like
conference?
the overall interest in the academic side of AI in terms of how we can get better training done. The principles of federated learning, for example, are quite nice to see, and people thinking about more minority subjects and how we can make sure that they're accounted
Yeah.
for. People thinking about the need for not just internal validation, but external validation. And I like the fact that a lot of units are now doing more education courses. So it's becoming more into medical school, maybe even training. And Morpheus does a course now, for example, in AI. So people are being geared up for it.
Yeah.
And so the direction things are going is nice in that it's hopefully going to be very evidence-based and focused on how does this improve things for us. But my hope is that that does get translated into devices that work for us, rather than us working for those devices. You know, that's my hope.
Well, fantastic. Thank you so much for speaking to us about AI. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks.
ClinicianLink.ai